Alright, hello everyone. This is Jetto, and I just want to go over some key things on how I go about using Harmor in my music. I use Harmor for a lot of things. Basses, leads, detuned saws for chords. Yeah, so I just want to go over how I do this stuff. I'm not saying it's like the way, but I know what a good bit of the stuff does, or what it does to your sound. So I just want to point this stuff out, and maybe it'll help you guys on your music. I don't know. So the first thing I want to go over is how I make, I guess, my signature bass, or like the main technique I go through to make any basses I have. So notice there's this pitch thing. It's pretty self-explanatory. You change it, it'll change the pitch at the same time. So if you move it up, it'll make the pitch go up, and you move it down, the pitch will go down. Yeah, so obviously since it's a bass, it's gonna have to be kind of lower in pitch. The next thing I want to go over is the unison. Here, it's basically, it changes how Harmor deals with the voices. So you add more voices by clicking on this part where it says order, and then clicking and dragging up, or you can scroll while you're hovering over it. I usually like to have 2 to 5 voices for my basses, and then have the pitch around there. The phase, you can change that to get some unique, different sounds. I like that, so we'll go with that for now. This harmonizer is pretty self-explanatory. I don't use it much, but it basically adds, it makes it so other notes play at the same time. Yeah, but I won't go over that because it's really not all that useful. So for my basses, I either go with a some filter type, or I have the movement of the bass coming from a phaser. So for example, if I wanted to use deeper, I would put the mix all the way up so that the phaser is affecting the sound as much as it possibly can, and bring the speed down so that the movement doesn't come from the offset. And it's because you want the movement to come from the width of the phaser. So listen to this. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of phasers you can use. And also these, I guess, another subtype of how it processes, I guess, depending, like, okay, let's look at this spectral analyzer here. When it's on octave, I don't really know exactly what it does. I just know it's different. You can look at it here on the side. I guess it would be it's affecting it non-linearly, I guess exponentially, and then on Hertz mode it would be more linear. But yeah, I get some pretty cool sounds that way too. The offset, I know I said not to use that, but it can be useful in some cases. So I have the speed up, and then see, it's not, it doesn't give that movement you want. It just kind of sounds like a band pass or something. But yeah, so you can kind of accomplish similar movements with the phaser filter. I used to use that a lot more than I use the phaser itself. Or I used to use band phaser a lot. Yeah. Another thing, that's basically how I get most of my sounds, just a little more tweaking. Another thing I like to do is for respaces, you just detune it a bit like that, and then give it a voice or two extra. So you can hear how it kind of goes like, just from the detune. And then there's this distortion part underneath the FX tab right here. It drastically changed the sound. It makes it sound a lot more moist, I guess. The movement is a lot more evident. And then there's this prism. It's pretty cool. Another thing is at the top here, you see how it's a saw wave. Whenever you start up an initial patch for Harmor, it is a saw wave, and you can change that by right-clicking on it. And you could add any harmonics you want to just by clicking it. Yeah, pretty nice. I also want to go over how to make a sine wave, because I didn't know that for a while. I wasn't thinking straight, I guess, but it's pretty simple. Since going up adds harmonics, it's obvious that going down removes some. So if you move that over, I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Oh, no, that was right. So this is a sine wave now, but there's some distortion on it, so. Yeah, you see there's only one harmonic there. Another thing, well, I guess moving on to the next thing, be a better way to say that. I say that every time I do a video, there's something I say over and over. Last video, it was, so yeah. And now, I guess it's another thing. I messed up because I was playing this on my normal keyboard, like my computer keyboard, and rather than a MIDI keyboard, which I do have one, but I don't have a MIDI controller. I ordered one and it was the wrong type, so that's why I cannot use it for FL Studio. So leads, I usually like to have two voices, 2 to 5, like basses. Yep. And an important thing with my leads is legato. And put the limit all the way up so that you can make it slide across however far of a distance you want it to. So like an octave is something I do a lot. Possibly even further, because that interval sounds good. It sounded like a classical song or something right there. I'm not sure why. Let's see. I like to add a little bit of distortion. I tend to use flat hat on my leads because it's not quite so much of distortion. And also, when you put distortion on, make sure that you put the filter up, because initially it's at that, and that removes some of the higher harmonics. So it sounds slightly low passed. So just add those back in, bring the filter up. With my leads, I like to combine the two waveforms or wave tables. This isn't wavetable synthesis, so I don't know if I can call it a wavetable, but just know that I'm talking about these single cycle waveforms. A single cycle waveform, then I'll just call it a waveform. I like to put them in somewhere in between. I don't know why. It's just something I do. And another thing, which I know I said it again in the video, I added a pitch envelope, and basically you just click right here and go to pitch, and you turn it on with this little button on the bottom left corner of the envelope. And I like to make a little transient, a manual transient with pitch, so it kind of pops at the beginning. That's why the legato is so important for my leads, because every time you play the sound, it doesn't have that initial sound, the trigger sound. You see the difference there. That's why, like, some of my older songs still have that, or have this, as opposed to this, which I do in all my newer songs. I connect the notes. Yep, it's pretty simple. The next thing, I'll make an ARP. No, I'll make a pluck, because I have trouble with that myself, actually. So I'm just gonna give it some. I just want it slightly detuned. So with plucks, the main thing that you want is resonance, so that they really seem like they have more substance. Because how a pluck is made, it's basically doing this, like really quick. So having resonance, you obviously don't want it that present, but it is nonetheless important to have at least some. Oh, I didn't even turn the envelope on, that's why it wasn't working. I think it needs to be. There's no real set way in doing plucks other than the low pass thing, but I'm not good at it, so I just want to try it. I made a good one before. Probably want to add some delay, actually. I don't remember how I did this. Well, it got decent. Yeah, I hope you just understood what I was doing. I kind of knew what I was doing that time. Maybe some little bit of harmonics added. Let's just move on. I'll show something I made a while ago. Oh, let's see. This was pretty cool. I made it for my song Voyage. I can just show that project, actually. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. This is just a remake of an old song, or kind of old song. It's not that old. Still from this year. Probably from around the beginning of the year, but I have improved since then, so I just thought it deserved a remake since the chord progression was pretty nice. And some ideas from the drop I still reused. Might have been a mistake to try and load this, now that I think of it, because Contact takes forever to load. So how are you guys doing? Oh, that's great. Oh, it's probably gonna take forever to load because Contact basically has to load like 5 gigs of samples every time it loads. Doom 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 doom. Yeah, I'll just. Oh, look, it finished right as I was about to pause recording. I might cut that anyways, yeah, I'm gonna cut that. Ugh. Alright, here we are. The project is loaded. And I have a lot of stuff in the project. I don't know what I wanted to go over anymore. It's been a while. It took forever to load. I don't think I even... Yeah, I use silent for the saws in this, so... I very highly recommend that you get silent because it has the purest saws of any synth I have used. I've heard that Serum is as good, but Serum is like icky. So yeah. Let's go. I'll just showcase a part of the song, I guess. Coming out this Christmas. I don't think there's really anything I wanted to go over in the song. Actually, I'm pretty sure I just wanted to show it off. Maybe the ARP. arm's basically the same idea as the pluck. So, yeah, I don't think I do need to go over anything, actually. So I guess that'll do it for this video. Just, you guys need to let me know of any other tutorials you want me to make, because I never know what to make. Now that I actually have time to record them, I can help you as much as I can. So yeah, just comment down below what you want me to teach you how to do. I'll try and teach it the best I can. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.